Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your weekly reading. I hope that you guys are all doing well. Today's video is going to be different. We're just going to put the focus back on you, and the focus is going to be on the individual zodiac signs. So please just take what resonates and leave the rest. With that being said, let's get started. We are starting off with the messages from your animal spirit guides oracle deck. Okay, 4 cards for Taurus. Got 3. Okay, 1 more card for Taurus. One more, Spirit. Thank you. Okay, Taurus, we do have some new cards, so cool. So we have Goose. Take time to rest and recuperate rather than continuing your striving. We have Penguin. The period of darkness that you've been experiencing is now passing. All right, Taurus, I'm already getting the energy of love or work related. So we have Kiwi. Do a walking meditation each day for the next week. I feel like there's been a little bit of stagnancy for you, Taurus. So we have Ladybug. This is a time of good fortune and abundance, so be willing to receive all good things in your life. So Taurus, when it comes to the love department, I feel like for some of you, you had to walk away from a situation just because the connection was not serving you, and that, it wasn't in your highest good. Although it's painful, a painful ending, I think that you are coming up on top and now experiencing a good deal of fortune. So for some of you, I feel like you did have to release someone who you really cared about just because they were not giving you the necessary attention that you needed or treating you fairly. So for others of you, I feel like this is a work situation, or you have been having some issues finding a job during the pandemic. I feel like any type of misfortune that you've experienced is now coming to a close because you've learned your lessons that you needed to learn. You learned the karmic cycles and closed out you closed out karmic cycles and learned the karmic lessons that needed to be learned here. So for some of you, this could actually be pertaining to your twin flame. I feel like these 2 cards are actually talking about the union on the horizon here. So the darkness, the experience of the darkness that you've had where you weren't together and were struggling to learn the lessons that you needed to become the best version of yourself, get into the divine feminine or divine masculine role that you needed so that you can come into union with your person, as well as your person learn the lessons so they can be that counterpart for you that you need. And I feel like, now you are getting into alignment with both your feminine and masculine energy and learning spiritual lessons. I think that you've underwent an awakening recently. So within the last year, we will say that is recently for me. So, but I will say specifically, a lot of you have gone through an awakening within the last 6 months. So with this card, I feel like the Ladybug card, you are getting that good fortune and abundance to set you up for when your counterpart and you come back together so that you can live a fruitful life and be able to share your truths with the world. And then I do also feel like once you guys are together and doing that, then the abundance will just keep pouring in because you are, quote unquote, the chosen ones. You know, the universe wants you to be together to be a beacon of light for other people and to share your knowledge. So I feel like for some of you, you might be receiving some good news. Maybe you got a promotion, you're getting some type of windfall of money. You know, a family member might have passed away, which is very sad if that is the case. But I do feel like for some of you are getting a windfall of money from that, like an inheritance. So I feel like, you know, though it's bittersweet, that is a form of abundance, especially if you have been struggling financially. I do think that things will be working out in your favor for you, Taurus, at this time. So I feel like right now, though, what you need to be doing is just meditating. I think a lot of Tauruses usually do that anyway. You are earth signs, so you enjoy being out in nature. But I think just, you know, taking the time to do a little bit more. So if you have a busy schedule and you're not necessarily able to like take a half hour or so meditation break out in nature, then you can just do like a walking meditation, just to kind of clear your mind when you're walking. Like 10 minutes a day or so will just be really beneficial. But I think that Spirit right now is just asking for you to rest and recuperate because you've been through so much, especially if you are indeed on a twin flame journey, or even just like any type of like spiritual growth journey or manifestation journey. These journeys are difficult and they take a lot out of us. You know, our whole mindset has to shift for us to get the things that we want on these journeys, and it's difficult to do. It's difficult to do shadow work. It's difficult to even acknowledge that there needs to be changes, by the way we go about things and just our perspective and having a complete mind shift here. So I feel like things are finally just going to start working out for you, Taurus, in the best possible way. So let's see what the universe has for you. So this deck is called A Soul's Journey. It's also on Amazon. Okay, what does Taurus need to work on? What does Taurus need to work on? Sum it up in two or three cards. Ooh, that one went flying. Okay, so I got 3 cards. Let me get that one. Okay, Taurus, all upright. So these are definitely your messages. Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Regret. I know that I cannot change the past. So, some of you Tauruses, all of you Tauruses actually, I feel like these are things that you do still struggle with in your journey. You know, I feel like that is why your manifestations have not come in. Again, if you are on a twin flame journey, I feel like these are just things that are very difficult for you to master at this time. And it all stems down to letting go of the outcome, the situation, everything that happened within that connection, and understand that there were lessons that needed to be learned on both sides, and that is why things played out the way that they did. You know, it's easy for us to be upset that things played out the way that they do. You know, Not every counterpart is going to be learning the lessons the same way. So for some counterparts, the lessons that they need to learn are going to end up being painful and hurtful towards you, especially if they ended up cheating, if they ended up, getting involved in a whole new relationship, getting married, just to figure out that they don't need that codependency or validation from someone else. Obviously, it's going to be very hurtful for one twin seeing that all happen. However, that was the lesson that they needed to learn. Whereas for you, if you struggled with codependency, you learned that lesson by watching your person being the way that they are and doing the things that they're doing, and just learning that you can't necessarily put all your eggs in one basket and rely on them to take away the things that you need to do work on, like your childhood wounds, your abandonment issues, things of that sort. So, the two scenarios I just explained, which I didn't really explain it that great, but you see how there's a difference. Someone has to actually take the action and go down the wrong path to understand what the lesson is, whereas the other one, it just sees the effect of what happened, and learns the lesson there. So they don't necessarily have to go out and be with other people and do the same things that their partner does, but the lesson is still there. So I feel like you Tauruses are definitely in a state of regret, maybe in a state of confusion. At least I feel like it's taking you a little bit longer to get over some of this stuff, to have forgiveness for your person and not judge them for their actions if they were in the wrong. Whereas, if you were in the wrong, I feel like it also is taking you a little bit of time to get over the regret that you have for your actions. And you are hoping that your person isn't going to hold judgment towards you and will be able to be forgiving of the things that you were doing. I think that these definitely do signify for me like a twin flame journey, because these are some of the lessons that are the most important in my eyes for that journey. So for some of you, you're definitely on that. And it's trying, I know. Alrighty, let's see what self-love messages you have, Taurus, for this week. Okay, what does Taurus need to work on this week? Summarize in 2 to 3 cards, please. Okay. Speak up. If you avoid conflict to keep the peace, you start a war with it inside yourself. Reassess. You have the right to change your mind. Abundance. Being a thoughtful steward for the money you already have is the secret to creating more abundance. When you trust yourself to handle more, that's when more shows up. Alright, so Taurus, I think that you guys are definitely manifesting at this moment, and you're learning just how to be good with money so that you can gain more. Tauruses are generally good with money anyway, so you know, you don't need me to really tell you how to manage your finances here. But I do feel like, Taurus, you do need to speak up. You might need to have a conversation with your counterpart. I'm not necessarily sure if it's going to happen this week, but I do feel like you, with this assess and the speak up card, for those of you who are dealing with someone in the love department, I do think that there needs to be a heart-to-heart conversation between the both of you. And this can be attempted reconciliation, or this can be actual union for some of you. So I feel like there's just unknowns really in this connection. There's just words that were not said. And I think that you both need some clarity when it comes to this connection to be able to either move forward together or move forward apart. I feel like either way, how things play out, I do feel like there will be abundance for you and you will end up being happy. So Taurus, that is all I have for you. If you like this reading, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you next one. Bye, Taurus.